Very much. We're counting down to the bottom of the hour right now. That's when the polls close in Ohio. Winner take all for the Republicans. Also, the polls close in North Carolina. We're about to release a CNN exit poll information. We cannot make a projection. We have a key race alert, though, in Ohio right now. These are the exit polls we have. No projections we can make on the Republican side. Take a look at this. Our estimate, based on the exit poll information, the governor, John Kasich, 45%. Donald Trump, 38%. Ted Cruz, 14%. It's tight in Ohio on the Republican side. Once again, no projection, even though the polls are closed in Ohio. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton, based on the exit poll information, she's at 53%. Bernie Sanders, 46%. We cannot make a projection. We cannot make a projection in either of these contests in Ohio or the Democratic side and the Republican side. Let's take a look at North Carolina right now. In North Carolina, look at how tight it is based on the CNN exit poll estimates. Donald Trump, 39%. Ted Cruz, 35%. John Kasich, 13%. Very tight in North Carolina based on the exit polls. On the Democratic side, 54% for Hillary Clinton, 42% for Bernie Sanders. Remember, these are exit polls. The polls are closed in North Carolina and Ohio. We cannot make projections. Remember, these exit polls are estimates based on our early survey of voters as they left their polling locations. The final outcome may be different. We can expect those numbers, in fact, to change throughout the night. Let's get a key race alert on what's going on in Florida right now. Take a look at this. Polls are still open in Florida, at least in the Panhandle, for another half an hour or so. Donald Trump with a significant lead, 45.5% over Marco Rubio, 26.8%. It just changed. 44% of the vote is in. Donald Trump has a lead of almost 200,000 votes, 46.1% over Rubio's 26.7%. 15.8% for Cruz, 6.7% for John Kasich. On the Democratic side, a very impressive lead right now for Hillary Clinton. 289,000 vote lead, in fact, over Bernie Sanders, 66.9%, 30.9% for Bernie Sanders. Remember, these are numbers that are being released in the state of Florida. The polls, all the polls in Florida, don't close until the top of the hour. Jake, clearly there are races underway right now in Ohio and North Carolina where the polls have closed.
That's right, and at least according to the exit polls, there's nail-biters there in both Ohio and North Carolina. But boy, look at those numbers out of Florida. Devastating for Marco Rubio. And Jim Acosta, this is Rubio's home turf. We have not called the state yet, but these early numbers coming in look bad for him. Donald Trump seems to be in a rather celebratory mood, at least based on his Twitter feed.
That's right. Yeah, he's already declared victory in Florida on Twitter, Jake, even though we have not declared any winner in the contest in the state of Florida. But you're right. They are feeling very good inside the Trump campaign about what is going to happen here in Florida tonight. I talked to a top Trump campaign official earlier here in the state of Florida who said, you know what, we may not win by 20 points. Well, look at the polls, or look at the results as they're coming in right now. It looks as if they might meet or even beat what the polling was forecasting heading into this Super Tuesday. And why is Donald Trump doing so well in Florida? They feel like inside the Trump operation in Florida, it comes down to one issue, and that is immigration. They feel like they were able to beat up Marco Rubio on this issue of immigration because of his past support for a path to legalization and citizenship as part of that Gang of Eight legislation from years past that Marco Rubio essentially walked away from. Donald Trump just used that again and again to beat up Marco Rubio and gain an advantage here in Florida, where a lot of voters, yes, in South Florida, there is a strong immigrant population here, but in northern Florida, not so much. The demographics changes, and so do the attitudes when it comes to immigration. As for the state of Ohio, a very interesting dynamic taking place there. I talked to a top Trump campaign official who said, you know what, John Kasich may have a good night in Ohio, but this person also said, listen, John Kasich always wins his elections in Ohio, so it's not too surprising to see John Kasich do so well there. The question inside the Trump campaign, and yes, this is a little bit of spin, is where does John Kasich go from here? Yes, he may win Ohio tonight, but what other state on this map does he win in order to put together some kind of argument that he can be viable for the nomination, Jake?
And of course, Florida is a winner-take-all state. All 99 Republican delegates go to the winner there. And something else is to remember, 6 years ago, Marco Rubio, running for Senate, was such a strong candidate. He basically chased the incumbent Republican governor out of the party and won the primary nomination with 85% of the vote. Kind of a different thing going on right now in Florida for Marco Rubio. But let's turn to the Democratic race, and Brianna Keilar